Hello everyone. How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. We're back at it again, and I am so excited to talk to all my business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders. Come on in. I am so excited, and I cannot wait to dive into a lot of what I'm going to talk about for today when it comes to business marketing. But I just really feel like we need to really focus in. Focus in is just that reminder for tonight. Like let's just focus in on what we're called to do as business owners. If you have been following me, if you have seen any of my videos, or if you just know me personally, you know that I am a daughter of the King, okay? The child of God. I do all things to please him. And if you are following what my teachings are, videos, clips, insight, this is all because of what God has called us to do. And if you feel that God is calling you to do anything in this world, you need to join on in, because I share different tips on how to do it effectively, with strategy, with value and insight, because ultimately we have to be obedient. We have to go forward in excellence, and we cannot stay in a position where we've been stagnant. We've been kind of just laying low, okay, and not going forth in what God has called us to do, whether it has been a business idea, whether it has been, writing a book, starting a conference, doing some type of movement in your community. You deserve to be heard and seen. You deserve to be heard and you deserve to be seen. And a lot of times we miss the foundations of really just the marketplace. And when it comes to marketing, whatever product, service, event, movement, passion that you have and that God has called you to do, okay? So I'm definitely going to share a lot of insight on the step-by-steps, the how-tos, the benefits of really diving in and focusing in on how to analyze what it is that you're doing and how to do it more effectively, what's working and what's not working, and how to build upon that. I'm a firm believer that whatever God has called us to do, we need to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward. As entrepreneurs, as business owners, we cannot just keep going and never taking the time to reflect, not taking the time to analyze, not taking the time to really know what we're doing and why we're doing it, right? Personally, this year is the year of intentionality. And for me, this year has been amazing, and I cannot wait what God has in store. This is the year of intentionality. And what this teaching is going to be about, what I'm going to share, it really ties into being intentional with your business, with your event, with your launching, with your grand opening, being intentional with everything that you do. Okay, we definitely, allow the Lord to pour into us, to download, to share. Okay, God, what are we going to do? What are you calling me to do? But there's also step by step. It's a method. It's a strategy behind marketing and getting the word out there, to putting things in order, decency and in order, so that we can move progressively, that we can really prosper in this thing when it comes to writing that book, starting that business, launching that event, right? So when you are intentional, it really cuts out all the fluff. If you are not intentional with your business, with whatever assignment and your purpose that God has called you to do, you will be clouded with confusion. You're going to be clouded with maybe distractions. You're going to be clouded with indecisiveness. Okay. You're not going to know what you're building on or why you're building it. Okay. So knowing that you have to be intentional with every step. I'm going to really just share the insight and the things that can help you really build brick upon brick and move forward, so you're not starting on square one each and every time you may do an event. You may put out a new product. There's ways to build momentum in your business, in your movement, in an event. There's ways to really see what's working. While the Lord is pouring into us, we can see what people need also in a tangible way as well. So I'm going to dive into KPIs. And if you have a business, if you are looking to start a business, if you are a leader, if you're leading people, KPIs goes across the board. And if you haven't heard of KPIs, or if you've heard of KPIs, but you aren't really utilizing and really maximizing on it, this is the live you need to really tune into. Take notes and really, really see how this can be implemented in your sphere of influence, in your business, in your team, with your staff, because you don't want to work so hard to gain a thing and then lose that thing and then start all over again because you feel like you're just going. Okay, you got to take that time to really analyze the KPIs. And KPIs is simply key performance indicators. Okay, key performance indicators, things that's going to show you what's working and what's not. With whatever assignment and purpose, your calling that you're supposed to be doing here on earth, there is ways to really take time to analyze. And this is ways that will help you understand how well your business is doing, how well your team is performing, how well the project is going to do. And a lot of times, some of us, in this generation, we can want instant gratification. Okay, let's just put it out there. We want to see the instant results. We can put an event out there, we can put a video out there and expect floodgates of people coming in. But there's a strategy to build up upon that, so that when you do actually launch that event, when you do actually open the doors to that business, when you actually put out that new product, there's a way that that message will get to the people who are actually looking for what you do. And the way to do that is by, over time, with consistency, doing the things that needs to be done when it comes to analyzing your KPIs. Okay, so I want to go over a few step-by-step things to do to help guide anybody in leadership, whether you're in business, whether ministry, whether you are nonprofit. These steps will help you really analyze and help. If nothing else, I just pray that it gives you clarity when it comes to, your business goals and your vision. At the beginning of the year, we always set out a lot of New Year resolutions. We set out a lot of business goals. We're going to hit financial milestones. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. But here I am to remind us that we need to review the things that are working, how we can improve. And I'm going to share those step-by-step guide, the step-by-step guide on ways to really help improve that. Okay. So one thing that you want to make sure is that you're clear on is that the objective that you're trying to achieve with your business. Okay. Are you trying to increase sales? Are you trying to increase engagement? Are you trying to increase your customer satisfaction? Are you really focusing in on, increasing your reviews, right? When people are giving their honest feedback, you're getting people's word. That's a word of mouth when it comes to reviews. Are you trying to increase that? Are you trying to, lower the repetitive tasks? What is your objective in this quarter? In this season of your business? What phase are you in your business that you need to really, really focus in on? Okay, so that would be the first thing that you really want to do when you are analyzing your KPIs, finding out your objective. What are your goals? What are you trying to achieve within this next quarter? We are really approaching this last quarter of the year, right? So whether you are already in business or you are looking to launch a business, there's really still so much time to end strong in 2025, right? And what is your objective for the end of this year? What's your objective for the end of this year, right? You need to be clear on that. And then every key performance indicator should be tied to that specific goal. But if you're not clear on what you're doing in this quarter, you're not going to be clear on what key performance indicators that you really need to hone in on, okay? So make sure you take time to clarify that. All right, so then we're going to move on to step 2. This is where you choose the relevant KPIs, right? You want to make sure that you select the ones that's going to help you grow, right? If it's customer retention, how are you going to build up the system to increase your customer reviews? What systems are you going to have in place to really increase the feedback of clients, customers, maybe your teammates, people who are in your business? How are you going to increase that customer satisfaction? People that are working with you or looking to work with you, how are you going to let them know that, hey, we've been doing really good things around here, right? And here's some feedback to prove it, right? So sales growth is another way, right? Of course, sales is, the overall thing when it comes to business. You don't go into business to not make sales. So if you have a sales goal, how do you plan on increasing your sales in your business? Okay. How do you plan on doing that? What systems do you have in place to increase sales? What do you think will help increase your sales? One thing that I could suggest is that you make more offers, right? When you make more offers, you have to know what your audience is looking for. If you want to increase your sales growth, you have to increase your offers, but your offers have to be relevant to the audience and their need. Like, you have to solve a problem. You have to take care of a need of your specific audience. And I'm here to remind all of us that no matter what business you have that the Lord has put on you to do, you have an audience assigned to you. So you need to work hard and show up so that the people that are assigned to you will find you, hear you, know about you, know that you actually are doing your thing, right? And actually find ways to get engaged with you. But you have to do your research. You have to do your due diligence as business owners, as entrepreneurs. If you don't know the need of your audience, what offer are you really putting out there? If you don't know your audience, what offer are you really putting out there? Now, you have your assignment. You have your business. You have your service that you have, right? You have your product. Not saying to change and just go with what, the algorithm is saying. No, we're not here to do that. We're not here to go along with the algorithm. We're not here to be tossed and turned as the wind blows and flow. No, you have your product. You have your service. You have your assignment. Now it's our duty to see, okay, with my assignment, my gift, my product, my service, how does this solve a problem for the audience that I can service, the audience that I can tend to, without taking the time to really dive into that? What offers are you really making? Okay, so KPIs can help you find that out, right? Due diligence, putting content out there, putting, vlogs out there. It doesn't always have to be on social media. People are really growing in the intimate settings, like, these small groups, right? You have these ways to really find out what it is that is needed in this season or for your audience, your target audience overall. So when you put more content out, when you're talking about the different benefits of your product or service, you can then see what it is that really needs to be pushed out more because it's a need there. Okay. And the way you do that is by analyzing your KPIs. But with your KPIs, you have to show up. You have to put things out there in order to analyze. We can't just push things out that we think people want to know about. We can't just push things out about the things that we think should be said or what we feel needs to be said. There's a way to balance it out, right? And really get the results that you need. Okay. Of course, you want to set benchmarks and targets, right? You want to set goals. You want to look and see how you performed last month and see how is it growing this month. I always say this, please do not despise the small beginnings. In order to really grow, get results that you're looking for, increasing your visibility is if not the very first, it's a step. It's the first step. Okay, I'm just gonna say that it's the first step, because when you increase your visibility, if you see more views, if you see more engagement, you wanna increase views and increase your engagement when it comes to online marketing, when it comes to online presence, social media, email marketing, Google business reviews. You want to increase your visibility. And the way you do that is by engagement and being intentional with reviews. Being intentional with all of that. When you have a lot of reviews, you build your business listing up. I mean, I'm not going to say and promise that you're going to be the first business to pop up on Google, but you may come up there if you have engagement on your Google business account, right? So really being intentional with all these things will help to solve the problem for your audience and really, really make sure that you're bringing value when you know what's working. And the KPIs help you do that. All right. So, some people don't like the spreadsheets, but take time to do the spreadsheets, do the data collection. You have to use all the analytic tools. There's so many tools out here to help every business owner, every leader with whatever you plan on launching, a clothing line, a skin product. You want to, do your thing, whatever your talent is. You need to have a spreadsheet and really document the things where you've started and where you're going and where you want to be. Okay? And celebrate every win along the way. Okay? Because you're able to really, really see the progress, what's really needed, and you can build upon that. Okay? So now, with social media, there's always trends. There's always things that you could potentially hop on to increase visibility. But I always share with anyone that I speak to is not to, I won't say I always do, but I would preferably always share that you don't want to focus in on just followers. You can have so many followers and no supporters. Like, you can lose thousands of followers in a day by saying one thing or another, right? So you don't want to focus in on building all the followers. You really want to increase your visibility so that the people who are actually looking for what you do, they can find you, because the engagement helps people, your video, your post, your ad to really get in front of more people. I don't know if you guys see on TikTok, right? People say, engage, share this, like this video, because it'll help more people to see what I'm here, what I'm bringing, what the value is that you guys are actually getting now. It all helps. But when it comes to trends, you want to just focus in on, there's nothing wrong with hopping on a trend every now and then, but you don't want that to be your sole way of saying how you can get more visibility, right? You can always find things to, make it your own. Find a trend that works for you, that you feel comfortable doing, and that might help, okay? And that might increase your KPI numbers and may increase your analytics, your views, your engagement, your clicks, opens, all of that stuff. But you just want to keep it original, right? Don't always have to do that, but when you analyze things, you can see patterns, you can see what's really hot at the moment, and you have a little fun with your business and be creative so that you can really just get more engagement and get the word out about your business. Okay, so with KPIs, when you have time to review your KPIs, it's a way to identify the cause. So with anything that is happening within your business, there's a root cause behind it, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And when you have the time to see what's actually maybe hurting or helping, you can really just stop. You can stop what's hurting you, and you can start implementing more and build upon what's helping you in your business. Okay. Like I mentioned, the objective. Are you trying to increase your sales? Are you trying to increase customer satisfaction? Are you trying to increase your customer reviews? What are you trying to do? What do you think is going to help you? Do you think you need to get out with networking events? If you're in real estate, if you're in finance, if you're a coach, if you are a hairstylist, if you're in cosmetology, skin and all of that stuff, right? The more you show up, the more you put out there, you bring value, you're solving a problem, you know what your objective is. If you want to increase the reviews, if having reviews is gold to you, you know what to do. You won't be so focused on sale, or getting more orders. You're like, I want to focus in on my Google reviews. So let me put systems in place that's going to help, put product out there, put value out there, help people. And in this season, in this quarter, I just want to increase my Google reviews. It's nothing wrong with that, but you have to understand that all of this builds up momentum, and by default, you will start to get more engaged with other people. You will get more clients. People will start to talk more about you. People will start to refer you. People will start to call you. People will start to reach out to partner up with you, to become a client, to get on your calendar. All of it works together, but you have to be focused in. You have to be focused in on what it is that you are supposed to be doing in this season. And I'm gonna just say for this quarter, right? I want y'all to really let yourself know take some time and write it out. What are your goals for the end of this year, of this quarter? Write it out and make it clear so that you will move accordingly. You will move intentionally. And if it's brick by brick, if you're working on this brick right now, you're like, okay, well, I'm building up my designs right now. I'm sketching out my clothing line right now. Okay, good. What's the next step? Really have that time to bring value. And how can your audience benefit from that? All right. So just some tips. Okay. So some key benefits of using KPIs, right? It gives you clarity and focus. A lot of times as business owners, we have so much on our plates that we just go, and we try to just, get the job done. Okay. We just try to get it done. However, even though you may get the job done, there's easier ways to go about it. There's a more clear path, maybe, so to speak, with getting that job done, and having clarity in your business strategy and planning things out will really, really help you. It will really, really help you, right? So it gives you ways to really scale your business. Okay, you don't know, gone are the days that we go into our business structure and we kind of just making a wish list. Like, I want to make 6-7 figures this year. Okay, what are the steps for this quarter, right? And how I'm going to do that. And why am I going to do that? Okay, so the how and the why. Another benefit of KPIs is better decision making. Okay, as business owners, as leaders, if you're launching anything, you can become decision fatigue. There is a such thing as decision fatigue, y'all. So if you're in leadership, if you have a business, if you're launching, if you're trying to open up a business, right, you're making decisions constantly just in that area of your life of business. So outside of your personal decision making, let's make it a little bit easier with KPIs, because KPIs will help lead you in the direction of what you may need to let go, what you may need to implement more of, what you want to really hone in on. It helps you. You won't have to take a guess. It cuts out the guesswork, because you have KPI numbers that's showing you what people actually need from your business and your service or your product, whatever it is that you're doing, your event. It will let you know. But if you are not intentional from the jump, you won't have anything to go by. You will not have anything to go by if you are not intentional of keeping track of KPIs. If you don't get anything else from this teaching, KPIs will help you in the future making a decision that needs to be made. Be intentional with KPIs because it'll cut out the guesswork. And when you need to make a decision, you have data to go by. When you're ready to make content, you have data to go by. You're not just making a video to say, oh, I think people want to hear about this, and then people are going to keep scrolling. No, you need to find out what people want to know about, what people need to figure out. What are people searching? Your KPIs will show you all of that. So let's cut out the guesswork. The KPIs will help you make that decision that you're going to have to make in the future. Okay, so without it, you're just going to be throwing stuff up against the wall and hoping that it sticks. Let's stop. We're going to cut that out. The third thing of KPIs is that it gives us the accountability. Okay, so with the clear metrics, you have a team, you have partnerships. It keeps everybody on track because the numbers don't lie. If you're putting content out, if you're putting new products out, if you're doing different events, you will see what your audience needs. And it keeps you accountable because this will track your progress and you can take ownership of the results, right? How well things are performing, it keeps you accountable. All right. I'm a little bit over time. So I'm going to finish these last two benefits up. I'm going to finish these two up. Another benefit of KPIs is an early problem detection. Let's detect these problems really quick, like before they snowball out of proportion and then you're constantly putting out fires. That's a part of the game, right? But let's put out less let's put out less fires a day, okay? With KPIs, okay? And this is because when KPIs highlight when performance is slipping, okay? So if you are keeping track, you're like, okay, hold on, my numbers is going down. What's going on? You can really detect that instead of just, going straight for the road every single time, every single day, without, really taking that time to really see what's working. Okay. So KPIs help to identify problems before it gets out of control. So you can adjust the strategies before the issues grow. And that's in anything. Okay. Right. And I'm just here to make sure that we're reminded to really take time to be intentional. Have a KPI sheet. Have a KPI sheet for your business, your team, your staff, your product. Have it. Okay. Track the numbers, see what's working. And the last one is it improves your growth and efficiency. So it helps you identify what's working. You can double down on it and you can cut out and, remove the things that's not. Okay. So those are the main things with KPIs, you guys. And when, like I mentioned before, the intentionality is super important. It's super important. And with all the things that may be distracting, life, personal things, the world, the outside world, you still have an assignment. We still have an assignment to do. We're still called to lead. We're still called to serve. We still have a product and service. We still have business to keep moving. So the KPIs is a great thing. And I want this to be a reminder to you to have that sheet. It may be numbers that you don't want to see. That might be the reason why we're going to do the KPIs, because we don't really want to see how bad it may be. That might be true, but let's just, let's take it. Okay. Because you got to start somewhere. And the testimony comes with the proof of the knowing and the intentionality, right? The testimony comes when you've built over time, where you started out with numbers that you didn't like. Maybe you had times when you got even lower, but there will be a time with consistency and determination, there will be a time of increase. There will be a time of momentum. There will be a time of prosperity, even the more an abundance tangibly within your business. But there's always strategy, and we want to steward well the gifts, the products, the services, the calling, the assignment that God has for us to do within our community. It doesn't always have to be grand span. You may be called to your neighborhood. You may be called to your city. You may be called to your state. But until you get these areas right, you will not know how to scale. You will not know how to grow. And you will just be throwing things up against the wall. And that's not how it has to be. So this is the reminder. Leave here knowing that you can do this. Have your KPI sheet, market well. And also I have a marketing promotion. Anyone that is looking to partner up with a marketing strategist, I am doing a sale your first month. With me, we'll have $150 off. You'll get marketing strategies from lead generation to nurturing. You'll have an hour marketing session where we can really dive into your specific business and really have that analytics and KPI report in detail and summary for your business also. So if you guys ever want to search, partner up, I'm available at anointedshutters.com. And until then, I'll see you guys next time.